and wealth. From the terminal entrance of the domestic wing of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, passengers are expected to have their face masks on, wash their hands, and maintain social distancing, which officials ensure compliance, aided by floor markings of 2 meters apart. This is also being adhered to at ticketing and boarding pass collection points, the waiting room down to boarding. On who bears the burden of the spacing in the aircraft in relation to cost, Captain Rabiu Yadudu says it's going to be a balance if need be, but maintains that the airfare remains same.
Nobody is going to set out just to extort or exploit the situation. We want to make sure that it remains a profitable and reasonable business.
Both officials and passengers are glad that life is gradually returning to normal.
It feels really good to be back flying here after so much, wait and suspense, and this whole COVID thing has really put reality back into everybody's eyes,
I'm going for a business meeting in Lagos, and I'm actually happy.
Officials say other routes into the remaining 4 of the 6 designated airports will reopen beginning from this weekend. Benny Adams, NTA News.
And in line with the Presidential Task Force pronouncement for the resumption of flight operations today, July 8th, the Abuja and Lagos airports, passengers have been advised to comply with the COVID-19 safety protocols. Speaking on NTA's Current Affairs program, Nigeria Today, the Director General of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, Captain Musa Nuhu, and Godi Ike, an aviation expert, urged passengers to submit themselves to the mandatory checks and wear face masks at the airports, both inside and outside the aircrafts.
And what are these mitigating measures? It's like wearing the mask, which we have mandated as mandatory, which we made mandatory. They must wear the mask. Use of hand sanitizers generally, and also once the craft out, we expect the airlines to come, the cleaners, to use appropriate reagents and clean the commonly used areas in the aircraft. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority and the government agencies, in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Aviation, are doing our best to ensure safe travels for everybody. And we will not, and I say we will not approve any organization, either airport, airline, ground service, and to operate unless they comply with all the rules, guidelines, and protocols are given to them. So traveling is safe. They are welcome to resume.
And from what I have been monitoring and following over the past weeks, I must say, especially what I've seen in Abuja here, I'm quite impressed by what's been put in place, and it's my belief that we should do everything to sustain this situation we have created right now.
The federal government is expected to announce the date for resumption of international flights in due course. Nigeria Today airs every weekday at 7:30 p.m. on NTA News 24. In the meantime, over 500 new cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. These 503 new cases reported in 19 states and the FCT bring the total number of confirmed cases to 29,789 in the country. In the breakdown, Lagos has 153, Ondo 76, Edo 54, the FCT 41, Enugu 37, Rivers 30, Benue 24, Osun 20, Kaduna 15, Kwara 13, Abia 9, Borno 8, Plateau 6, and Taraba 5. Ogun and Kano have 3 cases each, Kebbi and Nasarawa 2 cases, while Bayelsa and Gombe states recorded 1 case. Lagos State has the highest total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases with 11,520. The FCT follows on the charts with 2,322, while Oyo is third with 1,530. A total of 12,108 patients have been discharged following recovery, as the death toll rises to 669. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma has lifted the ban on operation of major markets in the state, directing that trading activities can now take place 3 times a week. He made this known while receiving the level of compliance with NCDC rules on COVID-19 at a meeting with the market leadership. Bright Ebochuo reports.
As part of efforts towards curtailing the spread of COVID-19, the Imo State government placed a ban on operations of major markets in the state. Governor Hope Uzodimma, while reviewing the directive at a meeting with the market leadership, assures of government's commitment to the well-being of the people. He notes that the level of compliance to measures against COVID-19 attracting federal government social intervention initiative for traders to support their businesses.
I have seen that social interventions like trader money has not come to Imo State. I have seen that all the interest-free loans given to petty traders and medium and small-scale industries are not coming to Imo State. I have agreed with the Vice President, and he has assured me that the moment this list is compiled, he will come personally to extend all these loans.
Chairman Imo State Market Association, Chief Don Chris Okewe, assures the governor of their commitment to the fight against COVID-19.
Most of the markets have prepared themselves with wash hand pockets. Some have gone to the length of buying thermometers, temperature meters to be able to guard themselves.
With the lifting of ban, the major markets will now open every Monday, Wednesday and Friday till further notice. In Owerri, Bright Ebochuo, NTA News.
Now, the rains are here again, and averting the menace of more flooding in the country requires the efforts of citizens and the government towards preventing further devastation. This was part of submissions made by Good Morning Nigeria while alerting Nigerians on strategies for managing the 2020 flood predictions in the country. Tua Miller reports.
As the world battles with the ravaging coronavirus pandemic, the rainy season is coming with its own challenges, as many Nigerian cities are already seeing an increase in rainfall, with many parts already experiencing flooding. However, guests on Good Morning Nigeria emphasized the need for integrated water management in curtailing this natural disaster.
Integrated water management. As early as February this year, Ogoshu River Basin Authority in Abeokuta, that has a dam, Oyan Dam, built on Ogun River, began deseating, clearing, to deepen the carrying capacity of the dam, removing whatever debris that is inside, so that in the time of rain, like we already started having, the dam could still carry more.
If our dams are used for dry season irrigation farming, we will deplete most of the waters during the dry season, and then there will be enough space that when rain are coming, there won't be excess excess water in the dams.
The guest also advised the government and all agencies to be involved in carrying out aggressive awareness and enlightenment to Nigerians on the dangers of building in waterways and clogging their drains with refuse dumps.
All agencies in the state that are responsible with disaster management need to be well informed, well trained, and a workshop should be conducted to enlighten them.
We cannot stop water from flowing, but we must allow free access of the water to flow so that it will not damage anything.
The guests recommended further collaboration with the federal government and stakeholders to continue their efforts towards curtailing the menace of flooding in the country. In Abuja, Tua Miller, NTA News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24, reaching you live from road users on COVID-19 guidelines begins in Nigeria. Stay with us. Thanks for remaining with us. Now, the trial of former senator representing Kaduna Central, Shehu Sani, resumed before the Federal High Court, Abuja, with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission calling 2 witnesses to give evidence on allegations of bribery and extortion against the former legislator. Olabode Arewa reports.
Shehu Sani is charged on 2 counts of alleged name-dropping and obtaining $25,000 from a Kaduna-based car dealer, Alhaji Sani Dauda, in order to allegedly bribe the suspended EFCC chairman, Ibrahim Magu, and the Chief Justice of Nigeria on the complainant's behalf. At the resumed hearing, one Mohammed Dauda, the son of the complainant, gave evidence on how he and his father turned over to the EFCC some secret recordings of telephone conversations between them and Shehu Sani. Upon cross-examination, however, the prosecution witness denied being physically present when the bribe money allegedly changed hands. The case is adjourned to Thursday, the 9th of July 2020. In another development, the former group managing director of the NNPC, Andrew Yakubu, has opened his defense on counts 3 and 4 out of the 6 criminal charges filed against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. The defendant is accused of laundering $9.8 million and 74 pounds sterling. In his evidence in chief, Andrew Yakubu testified that he received the monies as gifts after his retirement. In Abuja, Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Efforts by the Bauchi state government to find lasting solutions to the recent farmers-herders clash in Misau local government area is progressing as the committee constituted by the state government to investigate causes of the conflict has commenced work by inviting written and oral submissions from stakeholders. Abbas Mekano accompanied the 13-man investigative panel led by Air Commodore.
Sitting in Misau, headquarters of the local government, is to recommend measures to avoid future occurrence of the clash, which claimed the lives of 9 people and left others injured. Other terms of reference include to determine the extent of encroachment on the Malanje Game Reserve in Zadawa village, and also to investigate and determine the people or authority purported to have allocated out the portion of the forest reserve, as well as the beneficiaries of the illegal allocation. The committee has also been mandated to determine the cattle routes within the forest reserve and identify areas of encroachment by farmers. While emphasizing that the committee has no intention of witch-hunting anybody or group, the chairman, Tijani Babagamawa, assured fair and just treatment to all the parties involved during the investigation process.
Whatever we are going to do, we will do it within the law and order, and we will do it within the ambit of law. So we assure the people of Misau, we are not here to discourage anybody, we are not here to destroy anybody. We are not sent here to come and destroy anybody. We are here to do our job.
The committee is also mandated to provide permanent solution to end herders-farmers clash in the local government and to stop future encouragement of forest reserve. In Misau, Abbas Mekano, NTA News.
In other news, a lack of literature on the Nigeria police has been identified as the major enabler of the country's ineffective and policing in Abuja. Olushe Adeago reports.
The Nigerian police force is said to be the mother of the nation's security operatives and plays a vital role in maintaining stability and peace in the country. It is, however, becoming imperative to fill the void in Nigeria's police. The book, Critical Thinking and Policing, co-authored by Matthias Okoye-Yoyo, Assistant Director at the Police Service Commission, and DCP Suleiman Abdul, is providing answers to these as it dwells on topical security issues, revealing the importance of critical thinking in police investigation. With about 257 pages, 6 chapters, and 4 appendices, the introduction is the work of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, and forwarded by the Chairman, Police Service Commission, Musliu A.K. Smith, IGP retired. many saying to the average mind of every partisan police officer.
Literature like this becomes apt and very relevant. To prevent crime, you must think. You must think ahead of the criminal.
With greater precision and accuracy, you can solve any problem, overcome.
Also speak on the motivation.
We identified a dearth of literature in the critical aspect of policing, which is critical thinking.
The law says, if I want to arrest you, I put my hand on your shoulder and say, you are in the name of head of state, your liberty is seized and you are under arrest. But practically, you know that is not feasible. So, the idea of how I arrest you now becomes discretional, and I have to apply critical thinking.
They say they expect a wide circulation of the book, especially at security institutions, given the educational benefits it provides in enriching readers' knowledge about the Nigerian system.
Meanwhile, reformation is only truly complete when the reformed are empowered to move on and not go back to their old ways. And so it is with dozens of ex-inmates who acquired skills while in custody. And upon their release, they received starter packs, as Victor Azu talks more on this initiative.
Salisu Ibrahim spent 6 years in custody, and while at it, he acquired tailoring skills and education. Like him, many others acquired skills like welding, electrical services, hair making and tailoring, among others. Now, Salisu is one of the 36 beneficiaries of starter kits after their discharge from the custodial centers.
I learned tailoring, electrical, computer and education. I'm going to school inside Kuje prison, wherever I wrote my NECO and WAEC there, so I'm waiting for my admission now.
I always pray for a day I have my own equipment and be useful to myself and to the society. Today I have opportunity.
Salisu and the others represent the new face of the Nigerian Correctional Service, which is hinged on reformation, rehabilitation and reintegration.
They have been able to expose and acquire trade test certificate, and we have this program in which we give them the tools for them to settle down, and we'll continue to monitor them and see whether they conform with what we have done. And we are happy to say that some of them not only settled down but have also become...
The Correctional Service boss solicits the support of all to keep them focused. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Issues of national unity and cohesion topped discussions as the Governor of Plateau State, Governor Simon Lalong, visited the newly appointed Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Reverend Yakubu Pam, in Abuja. Omenka Amarakchukwu completes the report.
First day in office to execute Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission interest in promoting peaceful cohesion and project the country in true light through pilgrimages to Israel and Rome. On this day, the Governor of Plateau State came calling, reiterating the message of genuine love, peace and national unity.
Always there will be seen as the office for reconciliation of Christians in Nigeria. Because my prayer is that you will use it to complement the efforts of CAN.
Expect that the attitude of Christians, the attitude of Nigerians will definitely change when they visit the Holy Land.
The new NCPC boss, Reverend Yakubu Pam, is hopeful in consolidating on efforts in building a stronger Nigeria, which he has been committed to. As the chairman, Plateau State Christian Pilgrims Board, in Abuja, Omenka Marachuku, NTA News.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has commenced nationwide enlightenment of road users and commuters to ensure full compliance with the presidential directive on COVID-19 prevention in the country. This is meant to create more awareness on the new guidelines for motorists in line with the COVID-19 preventive